Well, here I am again. We need to talk about something that's in the kart racing genre. This being cartoon crossover branded kart racers. Are they considered a good thing or a bad thing, per se? Now, normally, a lot of people would claim that this is a Mario Kart clone and that it has things to do with Mario Kart. But there's some things that everyone needs to know. While crossover cartoon branded kart racers may copy Mario Kart, but honestly, I don't know why they keep claiming that they are Mario Kart clones. Yeah, I know. They have simplified driving mechanics while they include unusual track designs, vehicles, and vehicular combat, but there's a lot more different compared to Mario Kart. Mario Kart focuses on Super Mario related characters, or by extent, Mario Kart 8 guest characters. While crossover cartoon branded kart racers featured famous popular cartoon characters like Nicktoons, cartoons, hell, even Disney characters. I mean, the gaming industry wants to cash in on the kart racing genre and bring the kart racing genre to their IPs. Like Nickelodeon wanted to bring their Nicktoons, so crossover branded kart racing IP, starting with Nicktoons Racing. Cartoon Network joined the bandwagon and wanted in on this market with Cartoon Network Racing in 2006. While Disney wanted in on this market by having Gameloft to make Disney Speedstorm. But there is a problem with crossover cartoon kart racers. Cartoon crossover kart racers generally receive unfavorable reviews, with critics highlighting poor gameplay, weak visuals, lackluster AI. It suggested that they are considered subpar within the genre. Especially while some games offered a selection of beloved characters and basic racing fun, but their execution frequently falls short of expectations, particularly when compared to established titles like Mario Kart. What's the matter? Why are the cartoon crossover kart racers considered not to be favorable or get mixed or average reviews? Let's talk about and go back to the traces of Mario Kart. When Mario Kart debuted in 1992 as Super Mario Kart on the SNES, it was produced in-house by Nintendo. Nintendo EAD, using the core technology for the SNES Mode 7 system. For a kart racing game to succeed, you need to produce a kart racing game in-house at your new game division studio. And since Nintendo execute their Mario Kart game right, they have been doing great improvements over time using their in-house game development team studio, Nintendo EAD, and later Nintendo EPD early on. Secondly, for other networks like Nickelodeon, Disney, and Cartoon Network to want in on this art racing genre, they need to make their own game development studios, just like Nintendo. Nickelodeon kart racers or Nicktoons Racing need to be developed and published by Nickelodeon on their own. Cartoon Network Racing needs to be developed and published by the Cartoon Network themselves at their games division. while Disney needs to make their own kart racing game on their own and publish their own game at their own building. You see where I'm going there? No, you don't? Well, well, all I'm saying is that Cartoon Network Racing, Nickelodeon slash Nicktoons Racing, and Disney's kart racing game needs to be developed by their own networks at their own with their own development teams at their studio. I mean, what if Paramount or by in case Warner Brothers Discovery made a games division focusing on arcade kart racers? It seemingly this is what the Nickelodeon kart racing game alongside with the Cartoon Network kart racing game really needs to be made by. Um, all I'm saying is that Cartoon Network Racing, Nickelodeon Kart Racers slash Nicktoons Racing, and Disney Speedstorm must be developed under their games studio in-house. I mean, just think about it. What if Nickelodeon made their own game studio and produced Nickelodeon Kart Racers on their own and would be developed over a few years and would be in early access and would be helped out by a Kickstarter campaign and Paramount would have a publishing team do it. Not just that, they must have a customer service station where they would listen to fans on what they want. Like, for example, what if somebody wants an obscure Nicktoon being in the kart racing game, being Nicktoons Racing? Then Nickelodeon would listen to fans and would deliver on what the fans actually want. Seriously, there's a lot of things to do if you want to have your cartoon crossover kart racing game succeed. For Nickelodeon kart racers to succeed, it must have great visuals alongside with their execution being done right. Just like how Mario Kart's execution has been done right in this regard when it started out in 1992. But instead, we had kart racing games based off of certain cartoon IPs having terrible visuals or something. Like, take Nickelodeon Kart Racers or Nicktoons Racing 2018, for example. The first game received generally unfavorable reviews across all platforms, with critics citing a small character roster, lack of voice acting, poor visuals, and a botched battle mode. Cartoon Network Racing, released in 2006, was criticized for its poor controls, sluggish gameplay, unimpressive AI, and reviewers called the game bad and total trash. Considering that this was developed by Technics Limited, the studio who made Hot Wheels Beat That in 2007, a year later, it was no-brainer why it had poor visuals. Then, more recently, I had our issues with Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. It was described as a decent, but not the best kart racing IP, with online multiplayer suffering from significant technical issues like lag and broken item mechanics, despite having good drifting and customization. There are other issues regarding the game, which included a pretty unpolished experience. Alongside that, while voice acting may be added, it was not the best, as it was boring, repetitive, cheesy, and nobody will not shut the fuck up. Seriously. Not to mention, there were lacking of interactions between each Nicktoon character. Like, out of my way, you idiot, goes Ren to Stimpy, or, sorry, said Stimpy towards to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I mean, there's a lot of things to know about voice acting. For voice acting to be executed well, it needs to have fun and engaging interactions, like trash talking to each other, like what you would see. Unfortunately, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 character interaction was very bad. I mean, seriously, DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing executed very well, but not Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3? What gives? It was said that the characters' interactions with each other during racing in lines were supposed to be in the final game, but did not get the cut. Most likely, as Bantam Games rushed themselves to make the game. Oh boy, what did we go wrong? Not to mention that the online play did not have crossplay between PlayStation or Xbox, excluding the Nintendo Switch because it doesn't promote crossplay. Sorry. But what about Disney Speedstorm? For Disney Speedstorm, yeah, we are not going to be talking about that. This is on Cartoon Network Racing and Nickelodeon Kart Racers. Basically, both CN Racing and Nick Kart Racers slash Nicktoons Racing, honestly, they needed to be very polished to perfection, having better voice acting. And also, both games needed a lot more time and development, and releasing those games without no polishing already did a ton of damage, and the reputation of their kart racing series and the studios who made them. And they are targeting towards to Technics and Bantam Games in general. You ever you ever know how I feel about unpolished kart racing games? I mean, if I gotta be honest, it kind of reminds us of somebody who really did not polish their dangerous driving game. Free Fields Entertainment. Let's just admit for the fact that Three Fields had rushed their asses to make dangerous driving, while they forgot the fact that their technology that they used, Unreal Engine 4, is not like renderware. Be honest here, if renderware is still being used today, most of the kart racing games that we got, like CN Racing and Nickelodeon Kart Racers, would be rendered in the renderware engine. But again, renderware is under EA. So so I'm not just gonna say that most of the kart racing games like CN Racing and Nickelodeon Kart Racers need to be in another game engine. All I'm saying is that if they were made in a aid in other technology like Unity, we would have gotten a pretty much great experience. Considering that Bantam Games had worked on games in the Unity engine, they could have made Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 in Unity instead of Unreal Engine 4. To be honest here. To be honest with you guys, crossover kart racers, while they are normally a bad thing, they actually are a good thing because we need a lot of memorable, favorable characters other than Mario to be in a kart racing game. Yes, I know, Mario Kart is the best game, and it's much better than cartoon crossover kart racers. Far from it. But what nobody doesn't know is that if anybody else is bored of just the same Mario characters in a kart racing game and wants other characters like Johnny Bravo, Ren and Stimpy, Cow and Chicken, hell, even the Powerpuff Girls to be in a kart racing game, there are other alternatives to Mario Kart, like CN Racing, for example. Not to mention, there's Nicktoons Racing. Hell, even Warped Kart Racers, which is a Fox cartoon branded kart racing game. But for the more being, they're considered a good thing because we need more than just Mario characters to be in it. We need other characters to be in a kart racing game, like Nickelodeon's Nicktoons and Cartoon Network's Cartoons and outside Cartoons and cartoon series to be in a kart racing game. Overall, in the end, the recurring criticisms across these titles centers on undercooked mechanics, lack of innovation, and failure to deliver a satisfying racing experience, even when featuring popular cartoon characters. And this is a message to the networks, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, to both of them. If you want to go in on this kart racing genre, you must make your kart racing games in-house instead of giving your licenses to a publisher and a development team. Especially if they're considered as small or large, you need to work with either a high quality publisher that and hire an experienced team to make a good polished game in your mids. Meaning you have to hire a publisher. You must get a publisher and hire a development team and give them a lot of time and development to make a kart racing game with good simplified driver mechanics, better physics, good memorable track designs from the respected shows like Cow and Chicken or Ren and Stimpy, good obstacles and items that are not a direct comparison to Mario Kart at the time. Don't get me wrong. Inspiration from Mario Kart is fine. Like the Home Football and Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 and 3 is basically the red shell. The King Jellyfish is a spiny shell. Gnomes work like banana peels and such. They're great, far from it. But you must have to make up your own original power-up designs. I mean, I mean, I understand why they imitated Mario Kart. I mean, they wanted in on this market, but it has to be done right. One thing that made Nickelodeon Kart Racers stand out is the pit crew mechanic. It was executed well. However, that's in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. For Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, while the pit crew system returned, it was a pretty unpolished state. The broken item mechanics and the broken pit crew mechanic abilities, they were not polished. They were either considered broken, doesn't function properly, and they did not get a lot of time to be executed well in order to wipe out your opponents. That's a vendetta I have. I only ended up using the other abilities, is the other chief abilities, because they function properly as their vector engine unit counterparts. If Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 should have been made in the vector unit, we would have gotten a better polished experience, and we would have got more characters prior to it. In the end and overall, cartoon branded kart racing games, while they are considered a bad thing, are they considered a good or bad thing? Well, it all comes down to personal opinion, but all I'm saying is that they are somewhat good, actually. They're actually a good alternative to Mario Kart, but everyone is saying that Crash Team Racing is the better Mario Kart alternative. If, though, though honestly, I don't think it's a great Mario Kart alternative, but it all comes down to personal opinion. It all comes down to personal opinion on what somebody wants to go for. Yes, I understand. A lot of the crossover kart racing games copied off Mario Kart. So what? If anybody loves their favorite Nicktoons or cartoon characters or Disney characters, they want it in. Most of the networks want to cash in on the players. And with Mario Kart being so damn popular, I mean, what is the matter with having a kart racing game based off of the IPs from Nicktoons, even Cartoon Network in general? But to be clear and honest with you guys, the crossover cartoon branded kart racing games are considered as a good thing because be honest, it's a good huge break from Mario Kart in general. Sure, it has the same drive mechanics and such as like Mario Karts. Doesn't mean they copied off Mario Kart like that. It's an inspiration, heavy inspiration from Mario Kart. However, for Nickelodeon kart racers or Cartoon Network racing to both succeed, they need it's supposed to be a a huge effort, but instead what we got is a licensed development working kart racing game instead of being a big group huge effort work. Be honest here. We need a kart racing game like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network kart racers to be a big freaking in big team project. For we needed a good experience regarding to having both games to be a big group project, and it must be worked on by either by two developer teams, or give one development team more time and development. In conclusion, I want Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon to think back of what I just said in this video. If they want to make a kart racing game, they gotta make it on their own. Just like Nintendo. Not by another developer, not by somebody else. Themselves. They got to make a kart racing game on their own by themselves, and then hire a publisher to help them out with the marketing and a Kickstarter campaign if necessary. I hope all these criticisms about the crossover cartoon kart racing games will be addressed to, and hopefully if Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network are seeing this, hopefully this will be a guide to help them out if their own kart racing games aren't good. Let's just be honest here. While Bantam Games could be a good development team for Nickelodeon kart racers, they need to do better than what they did. Be honest here. They rushed themselves to a bargain bin. It would help if Paramount acquired Bantam Games, and also, by the way, have Game Mail, or hell, even Paramount buy Bantam Games. Seriously, Bantam Games seriously need some help, because either 40 or 41 people is not going to be enough. Bantam Games need to be under Paramount in general. And besides, if Bantam has a relationship with Nickelodeon at this point, and since they are responsible for the Nickelodeon Kart Racers trilogy, they need to they have to they need to be more in together with Nickelodeon in general. Now, I'm not saying that they should get acquired by Nickelodeon and Paramount. It's just a suggestion. If everyone wants Bantam to make a fourth Nickelodeon kart racing game. But most likely not going to happen. We're just going to have to picture a Nickelodeon Kart Racers 4 with a good polish experience. With the Karters 2 Turbocharge currently underway coming to consoles, that game has a lot to prove that we don't really need another Cartoon Network racing or another Nickelodeon kart racing game. Seriously. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day.